What's up, John Sonmez here from simpleprogram.com. So I'm in Cinque Terre. I am in one of the Terre, one of the towns here, the beach town here, and I am traveling Italy. So I thought I'd record a video as I'm waiting around here. I'll give you kind of a quick view of the surroundings here, so you can check it out. But yeah, so I'm trying to think, what was I going to record a video on? See, it's so distracting when there's so much beautiful surroundings going on that I always forget what I'm going to say. So I want to talk about, actually, you know, it has to do with some of the comments that I get on the channel and just some of the attitudes I think that are often expressed. I did this video about doing home exchanges, traveling, one of the travel tips ones, and you know, there are a couple of comments on there that were basically like, or there was some comment I think that said, oh yeah, this is great, it only works in, you know, third or countries where people have high trust and whatnot, and that might be true, I don't know, like, but that's just a thing that got me thinking, was seeing that. But there's also, you know, I think every time I do a video expressing some kind of opportunity, something that you can do, there's always some, you know, negative Nancy that comes in and says why it doesn't work. And that's what I want to address in the video, is like, you know, why it's bad to have that attitude of why something's not going to work. Instead, you should try and figure out how it's going to work, right? How you can make things work. And you know, there's a couple of reasons for doing this. One is, you know, that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And this is what I used to do, right? I used to sit in my desk, in my cubicle, and figure out why things don't work. And it's really easy to figure out why things don't work, right? Instead of hustling. And there's so many reasons why something shouldn't work, why it can't work, why someone else has a better opportunity, why it works in that case for them because of their upbringing, because of their money, because of where they live, because of whatever it is. You can fill in the blank and you can say why it works for them, but why it would never work for you, and why you can't do it. And then that sort of lets you off the hook, right? This is one of those ways that we excuse ourselves from what's going on. I'll give you another quick view of the ocean here. Yeah, you got that, didn't you? All right, so anyway, you know, the why is always, like I said, there's always some reason why things are gonna work, but you can instead figure out how you're going to make it work. And one of the cool things, you know, I think in traveling and entrepreneurship that I've seen is that, like, people figure out how to make stuff work that they see in one city working, and they figure out how they can adapt it, right? Instead of saying, oh no, that'll only work there, right? They figure out some way to adapt it, and you see it, you know, happening all over the place. And sometimes it's a bunch of copies, but they're still successful. They still work. They still, you know, make money, or they still are able to achieve some level of success. One of them, you know, is the kebab pizza places all throughout Europe, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, obviously it started, I mean, a lot of people said that it started in Berlin, like or at least the Durham kebabs. I don't know exactly where it started, but a lot of people started copying that and started doing it and making it work wherever they were at. And you know, that's, whether you like it or not, it's a good idea, right? It's good to be smart enough to actually take some idea and figure out how you can make it work. So what I'd say is really this. It's like, you know, when you hear someone tell you something, it's not that you shouldn't have somewhat of a skeptic attitude, right? I mean, you should be skeptical of a lot of things. There's a lot of people that will promise you riches and fortune and whatnot, and they're kind of full of it because it's not actually going to work. But that's not everything, right? And even though you can have a bit of a skepticism, you still gotta, like, figure out, you know, it doesn't let you off the hook. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you still gotta figure out, you know, for you, if you want to make something of yourself. Like I said, when I was sitting there in my cubicle at work saying why things didn't work, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't accomplishing anything. I was just staying there and just believing that, oh, there's no way, I can't be an entrepreneur, I can't do this, you know, I can't start a business, I don't have enough money, all these excuses, all these reasons why things couldn't possibly work. And look now, right? I mean, I stopped doing that at one point, I said, wait a minute, hold on. I'm just gonna try some of this shit, right? And you know, I remember selling my first thing online. I remember, you know, taking those steps. I remember the first time when I quit my job, you know, and went on my own, and it was scary. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I was going to give it a damn try. And that's all I'm saying here is, like, you know what, just give it a try. Like, when you find something that you want, instead of letting yourself off the hook, as easy it is to do that, right? It's easy to let yourself off the hook. Instead, give it a try. See if you could make it work, right? Try to think of ways that you could, and what happens if you fail? So what? Then you find that it didn't work, and then you know. It doesn't mean that it can't work. It just means that you failed, right? You could try again and see if you can get it to work. But if you can't, then so what? Then you move on, and it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, so many people treat some amount of failure as the end of the world, but you know, life goes on. You'll survive. You'll get another opportunity, and you'll try again. But you know, you're not going to be successful. You're just going to be, if you're constantly thinking about when people give you advice and they give you, you know, ways to improve your life, if you're constantly thinking about why it won't work for you and why it only works for them and why it won't work in your situation, and you might have some really valid reasons, some valid excuses, but if you constantly do that, you're just going to stay in the same situation, right? So if you want to change the situation, what do you got to do? You got to take a chance. You got to start looking for the reasons why it could work. And that's kind of the mind frame that I take, is, right, every time, you know, I hear about something, I'm trying to think of how it could work. And I get where you're coming from, right? So many of the things, especially that I say on this channel, when I'm talking about real estate investing, right? You know, if you've read my book, Soft Skills, Software Developer's Life Manual, I give you my story on real estate investing, and you can check out the videos on this channel. But when I talk about some of that stuff, some people say, oh, he's a con artist, he's a scam, right? Or when I sell my course on how to market yourself as a software developer, right? Which is a $300 course, but it teaches you how to build a blog, how to build a reputation that it will work, right? And there's so many naysayers that say, oh, it'll never work, it won't work for me, whatever, and whatnot. But you know, I'll tell you, there's a ton of people, and I've shared the interviews with you, I've shared some of the emails with you of people that have had success stories and have huge success stories from following that advice, because they took the mindset of maybe it can work, and well, I might as well try it, I've got nothing to lose, and they did, and then they hit success. And so I know that in your mind, some of you, that it seems like it's impossible, like it could, like I said, like it's just you know, not something that you could actually achieve, and that it sounds like a scam or whatnot. But give it a try. Try all those things. It's crazy how easy some of the things that, you know, you sit there and you think that the rules have to be this way, or that, oh, you know, if it were that easy, everyone would be doing it. But it's not true. It's not true. Everyone isn't doing it because most people are doubters. Most people don't want to put in the work, and they don't want to put in the effort, and they don't want to put in the risks. They'd rather just give themselves the excuse of letting themselves off the hook by saying, it can't work. It wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work because of where I live. It wouldn't work because I don't have enough money. You know, they give all these excuses and reasons why things won't work, and so they never get anywhere. So instead, like I said, figure out how things can work. Have that attitude of how can I make this work, and give it a shot. And you might be surprised, and you might get to live a lot more of a life. And like I said, I'm talking about this from my perspective. Because I used to be you. I used to be a doubter. I used to be someone who just you know, attacked every idea and said why things wouldn't work, why they would fail, and then I changed, and my life changed too, as you can see from my videos. All right, if you like this video, make sure you click that subscribe button below, and make sure you click the bell so you don't miss any videos. Talk to you next time. Take care.